Hello students, now we are beginning with a part 2 of unit 2 how things work. Let us see in other activities what they are going to make us understand. Activity 5, that is the first part of how does it do that, has many questions, and the second part begins to answer the question. See, in the first part we have discussed many questions that arise in our mind, how that electricity appliance work, and the second part begins to the answer, and we got the answer to all the questions. And you have already wrote some questions, and we wrote few questions. Now use a pattern to write an article, how does it do that, and now we will discuss how does the that all these things do. Give your story about light its own title. Write questions. See, here we have to write about things about light, an article on a light, and how do it that, and we have to frame few questions and giving the answer to that. So let me discuss with you one article of light. Light, the sense of sight. See, with the light only we can see, so I have given the name the light, the sense of sight. I'll read the article for you and will frame a question and will discuss the answers. Visible light is electromagnetic radiation that is visible to human eye and is responsible for the sense of sight. See, visible light, what we see is one type of electromagnetic radiation, and we are that is visible to human eyes, and that is responsible for our sense of sight, also for seeing the things. Visible light has a wavelength in the range of about 380 nanometers. It is how much? 380 nanometers. About 740 nanometers between the invisible infrared. This much it has a wavelength range, and with a longer wavelength, and the invisible ultraviolet with shorter wavelength. Primary properties of visible lights are intensity, propagation direction, frequency of wavelength spectrum, and polarization. All these are the primary properties of visible light. Its speed is also more per second, that is 299,792,458 meters per seconds, and is one of the fundamental constant of nature. And all the visible lights are all the type of electromagnetic radiation. They are one type of electromagnetic radiation and is experimentally found to move always at the speed in vacuum. In common with all types of electromagnetic radiation, visible light is emitted and they are absorbed in a tiny particles, that is called photons, that we have discussed earlier, and exhibit properties of both the waves and particles, and this property is referred to as wave particle duality. The study of light, known as an optics, is an important research area in the modern physics, and the sun is Earth's primary source of light. We know the sun is a primary source of light. About 44%, how much? 44% of the sun's electromagnetic radiation that reaches the ground is in the visible light range. That is about the article light, the sense of sight. I have given this in the notes also. You can read it properly and understand it. And if we ask few questions, what they have mentioned here, write your questions. So you write your questions and answer accordingly. Like, what is visible light? That visible light, you have to search the answer from this article. Visible light is the electromagnetic radiation that visible to human eye, and it is responsible for the sight. And if they are asking you what slot of range of radiation is visible light, then it's a slot between the invisible infrared with longer wavelength and invisible ultraviolet with the shorter wavelength. Which are the primary properties of visible light that we have discussed in this only? It was there. You have to search from that. That is a propagation direction, frequency of wave, or intensity, or wavelength spectrum, or polarization. And what are the photons? What are the properties of photons, that are waves and particles? All these questions will come across in this, and you have to answer it. I have given full article in the notes. Now moving ahead is a question to all these question answers to all these questions are found in how electricity work. See how the electricity is working. Now this sentence is transactions between your questions and answer. Explain how you think electricity work to answer the question. See now how this electricity works. See, electricity is a set of physical phenomena that has been associated with the presence and the flow of electric charge. How the electricity flow. Electricity gives a wide variety of well-known effects. See what electricity gives? That gives us a wide variety of well-known effects. What are they? Such as which are they? Lightning, static electricity, electromagnetic induction, and the flow of electric current. All these things are the that electricity that they are giving us a wide range of variety. And in addition, what happened in this to edit this addition to that, electricity permits the creation and reception of electromagnetic radiation also, such as radio wave. And electricity extraordinary versatility means it can be put to an almost limitless set of applications, which include transport, heating, lighting, communication, and computations. See, all these things about electricity is one type of a physical phenomena, and that has been associated with the flow of electric charging. And this when electricity applies, when we talk about when it is being applied to an electric charge, and then only it works. So all these are the lightning, static electricity, electromagnetic induction. All these they flow of electric currents. That was about electricity, how it works. Now in the activity 6, look at the picture of a drop of water. See, you can see in the picture a drop of water. Work with the group or partners to use the information in how does it do that. See, you can see in the picture the surface. When you see in the surface, you can see the tiny, but when it in the drop of water, you see that only tiny image is being seen wider. To explain why the cloth under the drop look bigger than the cloth next to the drop. See, they are talking about the cloth and the cloth under the drop, which is under the drop, that looks bigger, and why the cloth next to it, the next to the drop, it is not so bigger, it looks smaller. See the patterns on it. When you and your group agree on the clear explanation how the drop makes the cloth look bigger, write your explanation in your own words. You have to discuss with your friends and you have to work on it. See what it is said. See here, the drop makes the cloth under it appear. Why bigger? Because the drop of water on a cloth on which the cloth it is been there should have magnified the area that is covered. It has what done? Magnified the area that has covered. And this one, when this happens, because the drop has covered the upper surface. Which surface it has covered? The upper surface, and flat bottom was transparent, and the flat bottom is how it has been transparent, and the shape bends when the light that reflect, the shape bends from the object, and under it much the same manner as a glass magnifying lens with the shape. When we see with a glass magnifying, that also appear to us larger when we see with a magnifying glass. The same way it is here. The smaller the drop of water, when there is a smaller, the greater curvature of the upper surface. Smaller it will be, what will happen? It will be the greater curvature and the greater magnifying of the object underneath. The same way. And the larger drop, if the drop is larger drop, cannot magnify as much. It won't be able to magnify as much. Why? Because there was not as much of the curve in the larger drop. There is no curve, it means not so much curve in the larger drop. And although what happened, the smaller drops magnifying more, there was less area that could be seen. In this way, the less area that will be seen in to us. So you understood about how the drop of cloth is under appear bigger, and I have given this answer in the notes also, so you can read it. Now next, when you and your group agree on a clear explanation for how does the drop makes, see this only, the drop makes the cloth under it appear bigger. Why? Because of this all reason we have discussed now only. Now moving to activity 7. Usually umbrella keep people dry, but a little girl in Japan invented an umbrella that sprays water on the person who carries it. See what a little girl in Japan, she has invented an umbrella that is been spraying water on the person who is carrying it. She wanted an umbrella to help people stay cool. She also wanted to help people how to stay cool. See, umbrella we all know that protect us from the rain, but here it is helping us in the hot weather also to keep the person cool. Why? How? By spraying water on a person. People who work outside in the sun, like the little girl's idea, and buy her raining umbrella. See, this girl has invented a raining umbrella having a spray bottle in it, so you can spray while you are in a hot. The raining umbrella was invented to solve a problem. And what was that problem? Why raining umbrella was been invented, and what was that problem? See, when there is extreme heat, when the heat is more and the people face problems, many people face the problems ranging the heat stroke. When the heat stroke is there, heat exhaustions and other types of heat illness also occurs, and these all occurrence common occurrence because of this hot weather. To solve this problem, we have to save ourselves from direct heat of the sun, the direct heat that comes from the sun. We have to save ourselves from that. So what has been invented? Any umbrella will serve the purpose. Because of this umbrella, the we will be saved. But the misting umbrella, see the type, which type of umbrella it was, the little girl in Japan that was invented, that is called misting umbrella with spray cold water. See what type of umbrella it was, having a spray cold water, so we feel quite comfortable in the severe heat. When we are in the heat, we feel quite comfortable with this. So that was about why the raining umbrella that was been invented, because of to protect ourselves from extreme heat. And now the activity 8, think about things about the raining umbrella does. Things about all the parts that raining umbrella made must have to work. How many parts do you think it needs? How would the parts be connected and designed, showing the umbrella, raining umbrella, and drawing with all the parts it is needed, and write few sentences to explain also how that umbrella works. See, it is said that everyone knows that in the danger extreme heat is there when there is a problem arises, and by because of this heat stroke, heat exertion, and other type of heat illness we face, and that is a common occurrence that is in the hot weather when there is very hot. In the month of April and May we see, and it is very common to see the people they are using umbrella to protect themselves from this umbrella, to protect them from with extreme heat, and they are carrying one type of a shade for standard. And see this in this misting umbrella now, there is a carrying a standard spray bottle to provide cooling mist. While both methods are effective, making having carrying various items around can be difficult and inconvenient. It would be difficult to carry a spray bottle and both, so inconvenient also. So what happened, this inventor Kato has created, she has created he has this inventor is there, has created a way to combine the cooling shade of an umbrella and a cooling mist of a spray bottle, shade also and bottle also, spray bottle cool into a one simple device, in one device only, in one umbrella. This clever new invention works like a standard umbrella. It works like a standard umbrella, and it also protects the person who is using from the heat of the sun and rain. Also it protects, but especially designed to cool off. By it, how it has been designed to cool ourselves from extreme heat. And the user, while doing outdoor activities, when they are working outside in the sunny weather, they can use it. And the invention has misting capacity also, and that are provided by easily refilled water refill is there in that spray bottle. You can refill water container with a manual pump also. And the use of the personal misting umbrella, they provides for increased cooling capacity only for those who are using the umbrella when in the shade of a hot sunny weather. And this, see, all the parts that are needed for this misting umbrella, they are: standard umbrella is a regular umbrella top, which is on the top of the umbrella, handle fitted with bottom, handle is also there at the bottom, spray water bottle is there, that is a water container, we have to fill up the water in it, and the manual pump, one type of manual pump is connected with the water container. See, all these are the parts that are needed in the that are there in the misting umbrella. See, it's a very beautiful invention that has been done to protect ourselves from extreme hot. Now read the following quotations. All these different quotations have been given to you. Innovation designed by, one is by Steve Jobs, by John Cage and Walt Disney. The different quotations, see what is it, let us see first all the quotations and we will decide one of the quotation and I'll explain you. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower, that is being said by Steve Jobs. I can't understand why people are frightened of new ideas. I am afraid of the old ones. See, that is being said by John Cage. And get a good idea and stay with it until it's done and done right. That is being said by Walt Disney. See, from this all, see, last one is the third one quote is most interesting. Why? Because we have many ideas every now and then in our mind, and different ideas that appears in our mind, and some of them are good also, and some of them are realistic, and some of them are fantastic. Some are really realistic, it is good and it is fantastic, the different ideas that comes in our mind every day, the different ideas come, but something fantastic ideas could be converted into realistic. Some fantastic idea that come in our mind, we can prove it to be a real also. If we have an idea and we brood over it for a longer time logically, when we work on that idea for a longer time, it may turn into reality also. See, when we are thinking of for example, at this age when you are a child, you will focus on a study for a particular one only focus you keep on studies, and you work very hard, and you achieve, you think that I would like to have so and so thing, your ideas are that I'll plan this way for the exam, I'll do in this way, and when it comes in the, you work for it and very hard, very dedicatedly, when you work on that project, on the work what you wanted, and it becomes realistic, and when you think I would appear above 90%, and it proves that if you work hard then you can get the 90% when you work very logically on it. Or some other thing also, not apart from the study, any material you are working, you are making some instrument or some part you are working with, and you work very dedicatedly on it, so you can achieve the success. If we follow logically and make efforts, see, to materialize, when we make efforts on it, by thinking it won't happen anything, you have to work also, and you have to make efforts also, and there are many chances that it may turn into reality, and it will turn into reality. And thus a fantastic idea that has been converted into reality is nothing but invention. That is one type of invention. See, when you think that I want to do this thing, and you work on that particular thing, you invent, you think it should be like this way, and you work on particular model also, and you work and you find all the things, and you very dedicatedly work on particular thing, logically you work and you make it on efforts to the materialize things, that things. So it nothing is impossible, you can do anything in life. So this quote means that we should follow the idea till it is done right, we should follow it. That is materializes, and that is called it is materializes. See, this is a very beautiful quote which I liked and I chose to explain to you. See, all these things is about your nature and how you work it. Dedication should be there, and when you 100% give your full attention to any work, you can do it, you can achieve anything, and you can invent any new thing. I hope you all have understood nicely about all the different parts of the mirror image and electricity and how it works. And about we have had a talk about umbrella that protect us, misting umbrella that protects us from severe hot, and about the we had a discuss motivational quotes also which will inspire us to live a better life and to achieve our goal. Thank you.